Welcome. I'd like to talk about change and resistance to change. Change is a part of life. Everything changes, we change, the world changes. And change can be for good or bad, but we'd like it to be for the good. And we want to work for the good and our higher selves and whatever else we see as positive. So change is part of things and is, let's say, a good part of things. Now, change always has resistance. There is necessarily a resistance to change. If there weren't a resistance, there wouldn't be a change. But more than that, change and resistance are two things that arise together. And I'd like to look at them both philosophically and biologically. Looking at it philosophically, one can see, as it says in the second chapter, I believe, of the Tao Te Ching, things arise together. There's no back without a front. There's no beauty without ugliness. There's no change without resistance to change. So when change occurs, there is necessarily a resistance, and that should be looked at, welcomed, in fact, celebrated, because without that resistance, there wouldn't be any change. So these things arise together, and when you think about change or make a change in your life and there's resistance, certainly it's something to look at, and the larger the resistance is may give you some indication of the magnitude of the change or the size of the decision, but there will always be resistance, and that's part of change. Now, biologically speaking, this resistance to change is really kind of an inborn reflex. It's a way of preserving our energy so that if danger occurs, we'll have enough energy to fight or flight. So it's kind of a reflex. And since we know it's a reflex, it's something that we can ignore if we're not in imminent danger, and use that energy for something positive rather than saving it because something might happen. So, both philosophically and biologically, change is good. Notice it, be aware of the resistance, and celebrate that too. You can't have one without the other. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to my channel.